What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Dead on Dave. And oh my goodness, you can smell the grass. The cool air is starting to go away. A little bit of sunshine sprinkling across the country, at least enough in places that spring training has started. Oh yeah, time of year that I love more than anything else. It's baseball time, and that means the return of Season 2 of Touch 'Em All. And I couldn't be doing this on my own. Oh no, I have the human Adonis with me, my hitting instructor, the abstract of man, the mound of muscle, the human Huffman. Yes, human Huffman. Jeff the Huffman is here with me, man. What's going on, buddy? It's been a while since I've done that intro. How you doing?
Yeah, we're off to a great start right now.
I'm slamming, dude. I'm telling you. It's great.
I'm really excited, though. Baseball always gets me very giddy and makes me regret why I quit playing.
I know. Oh, God. I miss it. I miss playing. I miss going to games. Here in Germany, baseball's not a thing. I mean, it is, but you can't find games. It's impossible.
Germany doesn't really acknowledge its existence.
Yeah, softball, you can find softball games, but it's not the same. I'll take it, but it's not the same. But I'm very, very excited. Well, obviously, I'm excited. I mean,
well, yeah, you got every reason to be.
I think I can be forgiven if I'm a little more excited about this upcoming season as a Cubs fan than ever in my entire life. I mean, 33 years, I have never felt this way going into a season. And that's what we're going to start with. We're going to talk about what we liked in the offseason and the things that we are most excited about going forward. We're also going to touch on Aroldis Chapman. We're going to touch on Cespedes, and we're going to do a few more things. We're also going to take your calls at the end of the show. If there's anything you guys want to talk about, you could do so. Call in on Skype, David Vancura, DAVIDVANCURA, or, of course, use the number 702-751-2902. But that's later. First, you got to hear us yammer for a while. So, Huffy, what did you love about the offseason, man? What were the things that really piqued your interest?
Well, I guess we'll get this one out of the way. I guess we'll stroke the Cubs thing very early.
We can do that.
All right. So yeah, obviously, a lot of people are saying the Cubs won the offseason.
Yeah.
I mean, they took Jason Hayward from the Cardinals. Where they give him 8 years? Was it 200 or 184?
Something like that. Yeah, 184 over.
Yeah, something like that. He actually took a discount to play in Chicago. Said he likes the Cubs' young core more than the Cardinals' core. I obviously understand that, so no hard feelings there. And then they take John Lackey, who was just absolutely unreal for the Cardinals, especially at home last year.
Especially against us. I don't have to play this fucking guy again. I'm happy.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, you really don't care how bad he does. I mean, you're just happy you don't have to face him.
Exactly. He killed us last year.
Yeah, and then you got Ben Zobrist. I've always loved Ben Zobrist. You can play him anywhere on the field, and he's also a Joe Madden guy. And then to top it all off, you steal Dexter Fowler from the Orioles.
That was amazing.
You bring him back.
Because why not? We also picked up Shane Victorino in possibly a that might be a move. That could be something. Because Victorino, you have a guy with that type of pedigree, power, even at his age, coming off the bench in late inning situations, that could be a game changer. I like that move. I really like that move.
You already have like 15 outfielders that can play, so why not add another one?
I'm a little shocked that we didn't move another outfielder. I mean, we moved Coughlin, which that was the obvious move, and we got a serviceable young piece for him. I kind of like that 25-year-old pitcher.
Yeah, from the A's. I mean, that's a familiar scene there. You just raping the A's.
Billy Beane, just give it up, baby. Just give it to us. Love it. He's got to be on speed dial, #1 speed dial option for Hoisteen. It's like, let's just check with the A's. We don't.
What do you got? What do you got? What do you want? I mean,
I'm sure we could find something.
We got David Ross sitting over here. I mean,
the Cubs are having so much fun in spring training so far. They're having a year-long retirement party for David Ross. If you get a chance to check out these videos, they're hysterical. They gave him an old geezer handicap space in the parking lot. They gave him a jazzy, all kinds of stuff. It's awesome. It's so funny. But yeah, I'm with you, man. Obviously, that's the big thing that stands out. But the Cubs were not the only team that improved in the offseason. There are a lot of
Not
teams,
at all.
hell, in the exact same city. The White Sox got sneakily much better, and you know how much that disgusts me to say.
Let's pump the brakes on that a little bit.
Offensively.
Offensively, yeah. I mean, you looked at their lineup last year. I mean, you thought, okay, this lineup could do something. They didn't really do a whole lot.
No.
I mean, they brought in Flava Frage from the Reds.
That's a
really
huge
like
move.
That.
You bring an MVP
really,
candidate. It's an MVP
I really
candidate.
Really like that pickup from him, and I guess both teams in Chicago now are just going to take whatever the A's have because they got Brett Lawrie and he's going to play second base for them. I like that. And they also got Jimmy Rollins on a minor league deal,
which is not much of a move. I don't see much coming of that at this stage in J. Roll's career, but
he's going to be a bench player for them.
Yeah, but it's not a terrible move. I don't mind it.
No, not at all. So I mean, you go around this lineup here. They got some really nice pieces. With Frazier, Lawrie, LaRoche, Abreu, Adam Eaton, who I really like. And then obviously El Garcia, you've heard me talk about him. I could still see him being a 30-30 guy, maybe.
Sure.
Little Miggy, as I like to call him.
Little Miggy, yeah.
But then you look at their pitching, it's Chris Sale and who's working at the local grocery store that can throw a ball.
Quintana's not a bad option. I mean, they got a lot of lefties. Carlos Rodon, if he can get going, he's not bad. Danks and Johnson are complete flyers. The bullpen is going to be the bullpen. Nothing that scares anybody. But they're going to be better than they were last year.
And their defense was horrible last year. They couldn't get anybody out.
Yeah.
They couldn't get anybody out. They couldn't pitch, and they couldn't play defense. It was terrible. I know you enjoyed it, but
yes. And believe me, I'm hoping they're going to be worse. I have a feeling they're going to be a little bit better. And, a really competitive-looking NL Central. That's going to be or AL Central, excuse me. That's going to be a fun division to watch. That is going to be a real fun division to watch.
It could be. I like what the Tigers did. They signed Justin Upton. I like that pickup. Yeah. Have some protection for Miggy and V-Mart. And also J.D. Martinez. I like that lineup there. And they finally addressed the bullpen. They finally added bullpen pieces, bringing in K-Rod.
Well, how about Cleveland? I mean, Cleveland seems like they've been on the verge of being really good for the past few years.
It's not the problem with them. It's whether they can actually hit the ball, and that outfield is just Oh man,
it's fairly ridiculous. It's fairly ridiculous, but it's going to be an interesting division.
Not very good.
You got Kansas City. I don't think they're going to drop off that much. Yeah, they took a little bit of pounding in the starting.
Yeah, Picada projected to finish last with like 70-something wins. Okay.
That's ridiculous.
Right.
There's no way I see that happening. But this is a team that, yes, the starting pitching may not be as good as it was last year, but the reality is they only need to go 5. They need to go 5, get to that bullpen. They're fine. They're fine after that. So we'll see what they do. It's going to be interesting. There some other things I really liked. For some reason, I have a feeling Seattle is going to make a huge splash this year. I thought the same thing last year. I think you did too. We were just wrong.
Yeah, everybody putting the Padres and the Mariners in the World Series.
Yeah, I know. Oh, my God. The Padres, Jesus. There's a lot of things that happen. Arizona, you want to talk about a team that could really shake shit up. Friggin' People want to talk about San Francisco. What about Arizona?
Yeah.
Oh my
God. Stealing Greinke from the Giants and the Dodgers. Apparently that deal took place in all of 6 hours.
They didn't steal him. They paid a hefty price.
Yes, they did. And
they paid top dollar plus 20%.
Yeah, and they also traded Ender Enciarte and the number 1 pick from last year, Dansby Swanson, for Shelby Miller. And now you look at that rotation. I mean, it's looking pretty nice. You got Greinke, Miller, Patrick Corbin, Archie Bradley, Ruby De La Rosa, the couple other guys in there. Yeah. But they were one of the
offense that's terrifying though.
Go
ahead.
It definitely is. Definitely is.
It was a good offense last year. I think it looks more balanced this year. You know what Goldschmidt's going to bring. what he's always going to bring.
Top 3 in MVP every year.
Every year. He's going to be sickly good. But I just like the way this team looks. I don't know what San Francisco is going to look like. I personally don't have as much faith in their pitching staff because obviously I cooled on fucking Samardzija a long time ago. Like any other logical human being should have.
Right. Well, I mean, they have a nice looking rotation too with Bumgarner. They bring in Cueto. You got Matt Cain, Chris Heston, and Jake Peavy back there
Peavy
as well.
And Cain are the wild cards here. Cain has been
very
up
true,
and down.
very true.
Peavy's old, and you don't know what you're going to get out of him. Samardzija, I'm not a fan of, but you have Baumgartner and Cueto, so you got a great 1-2 punch. If Cueto Cueto seems to be going through these stretches, the older he's getting, he takes like a good chunk of the season and just decides to be awful. So I don't know. I mean, he had a really bad stretch last year. Real bad.
Really, ever since he got to the Royals.
Yeah.
Ever since he got traded, he was not very good.
Well, there was all the concerns about his health and all these things that just kind of exacerbated. You know, it got worse and worse the longer he was with Kansas City. He did right the ship in the playoffs, though. To be fair, he got a little better.
For the big portion of his time over there, I mean, he wasn't very good. But then every now and again, he would throw in a gem.
Yeah. Well, the talent's there. We know the talent's there, so it's pretty interesting. What is your what team are you most excited to see what they're going to bring to the table this year?
Actually, I was going to finish up one quick thing on the Giants here. I do like. No, you're good. You're good. They also brought in Denard Span. I like that pickup.
That's a good move. That's a good move.
You don't know what you're going to get with Pagan out there in the outfield.
You get good defense.
I mean he's been hurt a lot the last couple of years.
And that's kind of the book. That's the book on Span too. Span doesn't stay. He hasn't really stayed healthy the last few years either. So I don't know.
But I really like their infield. They got a sneaky good, really good infield. You got Posey, Matt Duffy, Crawford, Belt. They got a nice little infield there.
Well, and of course you have the even number year World Series winning stretch. So
exactly, where somehow you look at their roster and it's like you don't even know how they do it. But
every even number year they win. The last one they won 10, 12, and 14? Mm-hmm. Or was it just 12 and 14? I can't remember.
No, 10, 12, 14.
It's ridiculous. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. What team excites you the most, man?
Well, obviously, with the Cubs bringing all those people in, I mean that's going to make the Cardinals-Cubs rivalry even more exciting.
Whew. Yes.
So, I'd like to see what the Cubs can do bringing these guys in. I'd also like to see what the Cubs can do once somebody goes down because they really didn't have anybody go down last year.
Well, hopefully we won't have to deal with that problem.
I mean, the Cardinals last year, everybody and their mother died.
Yes.
And they won 100 games, but you saw what the toll that took on all the main guys in September and into the postseason. They just looked gassed.
Yeah, they did. With you guys, you always have to talk about the Cardinals. And for me, I got two teams I want to talk about, Cardinals being one of them, because you always want to write them off, but they're always good. They find ways to replace whoever they lose. I think this is the year that things, if Yachty can't get back to being Yachty, if he misses significant amount of time, if the problems continue to mount for him, like it did towards the end of the season last year, I think it could be a longer season than normal. You're still going to win 88 to 95 games.
Oh, definitely.
As long as Wainwright stays healthy. I think if Wainwright were to go down this year, it's going to hurt you more than it did last year. Let's face it, Hayward was a big reason why you guys were as good as you were, and losing him is significant. It's significant.
It is, but I don't think it's a detrimental.
No, because you have the best run sports franchise in sports.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Do they cheat every now and then? Possibly. They might hack into your shit.
Allegedly.
They might hack into your shit.
He could have just been acting on his own.
Maybe. I doubt it, but maybe. But this is a team that they're always good. They're just like my entire life. They've just always been good. So you can't ever write them off. The other team for me that I do want to talk about because they are intriguing as hell to me, and it's another marquee team in the league, the Yankees. The Yankees in that division, they got Starlin Castro. I think he's going to provide a lot of balance. I think he needed to get out of Chicago. He needed all those young studs that were nipping at his heels. He needed to get away from that. He's going to a club where I think it's going to
takes a huge amount of pressure off them.
Yeah, it does. Well, moving to New York is not an easy thing to do, pressure-wise. But
pressure in a different sense.
It's a different team. It's an aging team. I think he's going to be able to take a leadership role in the next year or two. Because Alex Rodriguez, for all of the great play that the guy gives, he's never been known much as a leader. You know, he's not Derek Jeter. So Castro might be able to develop himself in that sense, and that could be really good. But it all comes down, just like it did last year, attrition. If these old sons of bitches can play 140 games, 150 games, I think they're going to be okay. And it's the same thing with the pitching staff.
Good luck. You throw a paper airplane at Teixeira and he breaks his wrist.
That's right. If the wind blows too hard, Teixeira's breaking a hip. And that is a problem. The pitching staff is scary for the Yankees as far as not scary good, scary like just get the emergency room ready at any time. You got CC Sabathia, who's one drink away from being a fall-down alcoholic anytime during the season.
Apparently. Yeah, that came out of nowhere.
And Jesus, he's like, hey, by the way, I'm an alcoholic. I have alcohol problems. You got Tanaka, who could throw his shoulder out anytime. Mm-hmm. And then a bunch of guys that nobody knows anything about. I mean, Nova, are you going to trust Nova? I don't know. The Yankees are interesting to me, though.
No, they definitely are. A-Rod's been posting videos throughout the postseason of him training.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Well, how about first at bat? How about first at bat in spring training for the old 40-year-old fucker? Just boom, home run.
Well, I mean, who did he hit? Who did he hit that off of, though?
More than likely off of a guy who's going to be bagging groceries in a couple of weeks.
Thank you. Yes, I was hoping you'd use that line.
You allied it. I had to oop it. I mean, come on. Big congratulations to the chat, Josh Lyons. He is watching from the hospital. His second daughter is on the way. Congratulations, Josh Lyons. It's always nice to have another member of the Touch 'em All family coming in. So congratulations. Get a Cubs hat on that kid's stat. Jump on the bandwagon. There's room. There's room.
Yeah, everybody's jumping on it right off a cliff.
No, we're not jumping off a cliff. We're going to Thug Mansion, baby. I'm just so excited. I could just talk about the Cubs the entire time. I really could. And even if I wasn't a Cub fan, I think you'd be able to forgive it because this is an exciting team. Schwarber, he's already breaking windows in spring training. He's ridiculous. Hayward now doesn't have to play center. They have so many options. Soler, is he going to get traded? Where's Schwarber going to play? Is David Ross only going to pitch or only going to catch one day a week now? What is going to happen? This team is.
I mean, hey, teach Soler to play catcher or something. I don't know.
But the Cubs are going to make a move sometime throughout this year. They're going to have to move somebody. Well, we said that last year and they didn't. So I don't know.
So you got to figure somebody's going to go down.
Yeah.
Someone's going to go down.
Then you have two other weird cases with the team. You got Javi Baez, who's essentially playing all over the diamond now, and you have Almora, who looks to be ready, but they got to find out because he's been in the system for 4 or 5 years now.
How old is he?
Like 24, maybe that. We got him young.
Let's see, what I think they're going to do with him is, I mentioned this to you a couple weeks ago, with them bringing Fowler back for the 1 year potentially, they might try to ease Almora in throughout the year.
Yeah.
Get him ready for next year instead of just kind of, throwing him out there.
Yeah, I think that's a decent idea. You don't want to go too far too fast with the guy, but at the same time, he's been in the system for a while, so you kind of know what you have to have with him. We'll see. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. So we talked about the positive stuff. So let's jump to the negative for a moment. What teams are you most worried about? What teams are you just looking at going like, they're not going to be as good as people are thinking? We need to pump the brakes on these guys. It's going to be a rough year.
Well, a lot of people were hyping up the White Sox again, like I was saying. They didn't really do anything with that pitching staff.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Sale, Quintana, and Rodon, and then after that, it's yeah, not much there. As much as it puts a smile on my face, and as much as a positive that I see it as, the Dodgers. They are finishing third in this division. They actually just lost Brett Anderson for 3 to 5 months.
Yeah, they did.
He's getting back surgery because he screwed his back up in batting practice.
Yep, good job. Another pitcher hitting situation. Good job.
Well, I mean, he throws his back out swinging at bat. I mean, that's what happens when you swing for the fence and don't stretch.
Pitchers shouldn't be hitting. I'm done with it. I'm tired of it.
Yeah,
I flipped. From when you knew me at the beginning, I would have never have said that, but I have flipped. I've gone to the dark side. Get these pitchers off my fucking screen. Throw. They're making too much money. They don't need to be hitting. I'm tired. I'm over it. I'm done with it.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's coming. It's coming. DH is coming to the NL. But yeah, the Dodgers after Kershaw, they brought in Maeda, who's, I mean, you look at his stuff. I mean,
we don't know.
He's a wild card there. You don't know what you're going to get with him. Ryu's not going to be ready. So I mean,
Kazmir should benefit from being in the National League. You got to expect his numbers.
That was a nice pickup.
Yeah.
You thought the Dodgers were going to get Iwakuma, and then he doesn't get a physical, and he ends up going back to Seattle. So I mean, this could be the time for the Dodgers to trade one of those outfielders.
Yeah.
Probably Ethier, I would assume, because nobody wants Carl Crawford.
Well, I think they got to really consider moving Puig at some point. I mean, he is a cancer of this team. Nobody seems to like this guy. You know, how long do you keep him in there when you have other talent? I mean, I don't understand it. And he's going to get you back more than Ethier will at this point, I think. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And, you know, when he first came into the league a couple years ago, you know, I kind of gave him the benefit of the doubt because, you know, he was coming to a new country, new culture, all that stuff. I'll kind of give you a pass on that, but it's been, 3 years now?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, come on. Let's start to figure it out a little bit here.
Tiny bit. I mean, I gave him a pass mainly because if you don't know his horror story of how he got here to the States, it's pretty disgusting. It's like revolutionary period type shit. Like it's not good. People died to get this guy playing baseball. That's like, what the fuck? But these are the things that happen. Yeah. But not anymore, because one thing Obama did accomplish is he kissed Cuba's ass, and now we're friends with Cuba again. He's going to a baseball game in Cuba. Good for him.
Yes, they are. Let's see what else we got here. The Reds and Brewers are dead.
Yes.
They are dead. Let's see. You don't know what you're going to get.
I'm a little worried about the Pirates.
Yeah. The Pirates. I mean, they did virtually nothing. I mean, they brought in Ryan Vogelsong, but
yeah.
I mean, they lost Pedro Alvarez, who all he was good for was hitting against the Cardinals.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all he was good for. He hits like $150 against everybody else. Then he comes to play the Cardinals, and he turns into Ted frickin' Williams.
He struck out an awful lot, man. Oof.
Yeah. And he's very good at throwing the ball into the 18th row.
Very good.
He's very good at that. Yeah. Other than that, they didn't really do a whole lot. They lost Neil Walker.
Yeah.
They traded him for Jonathan Neese. Which kind of
okay. I mean,
it's kind of like but I mean, you look at what the Pirates can do with pitchers. I mean, it's like the fountain of freaking youth over there with starting pitchers.
True, but how long is that going to last? I mean, yeah, Garrett Cole is a stud, no question, absolute stud.
Yeah, and they pissed him off.
Yes, they did. But sometimes that can be a good thing. Not if they start losing, though. Not in that division. I think that could be a problem.
I won't mind if they start losing.
Oh no, I'm rooting for it. I'm rooting for it. I'm trying to be as objective as I can. You know, like right. Liriano, I gotta figure he's gonna start declining here any day. They got a big question mark. You just said Neil Walker was traded.
He still has that slider,
they got this Hansen kid starting at second base now, who I know nothing about. He's never played as far as I know, so it's it's going to be an interesting year for the Pirates. Can they keep pace with the Cubs and Cardinals?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I think they're going to take a step back here.
I agree. And then as far as the other really sub performers, basically the entire NL East. You know, I mean,
Pretty much.
the Mets and the Nationals should be fine, but even the Nationals, they're not guaranteed. Look what they did last year. But the rest of that division is just atrocious.
I do like what the Braves did, though. I do like what they were doing over there. They got, like I said, they got Enciarte and Dansby Swanson in that Miller deal.
Yeah.
They dumped Andrelton Simmons over to Anaheim. So I mean, they're going for that new ballpark in that's next year. Wow, that's next year
That's
already.
next year.
Talking about that for 3 years now.
They're going to lose around another 90 to 95 games, though.
Oh yeah, they're not gonna be good at all.
The Phillies look like they might be 1 year away from another year of being awful again, like really, really atrociously bad. Which leads me to a question. I want to ask you this. A lot of talk in the offseason because of what Houston and Chicago in particular have been able to do. There's all this talk about tanking. Baseball is a unique sport because it's so long. It's so long. And when a team loses 95 to 100 games consistently for 4 or 5 years, it may not necessarily point to tanking. But now these talks are because what the Cubs did, the Cubs deliberately not signing any major guys to long-term deals because that got the sexy thing for about 10 years. Everyone's like, let's sign motherfuckers to 10 years at $150 million. Cubs weren't doing it. Neither were the Astros. They're like, we're going to take our losses. We're going to rebuild through the draft. We're going to trade pieces. We're going to try to rehab guys and flip them for picks, flip them for players. And that's what they were doing. But is that tanking? That's the question I pose to you.
I wouldn't say that's necessarily tanking.
Yeah.
I mean, you give pieces that are valuable to other teams. I mean, and they're going to give up a lot to get those valuable pieces, which you know what you're going to get from those pieces. So I mean, they're going to give up a lot for them. So no, I don't think that's deliberately tanking.
I mean, the definition of tanking is purposely trying to put an inferior product out on the field so you don't win more games. And
I don't think they're necessarily trying to put an inferior product on the field. I don't think they're trying to do that.
Yeah.
Tanking would be, just putting a bunch of David Rosses out there.
Yes.
Yeah, but putting a bunch of people in positions they've never played before, putting position players on the mound. That's what I see tanking is.
That would be outwardly no subtlety to it whatsoever. But putting yourself into position to not necessarily succeed.
Tanking is Rachel Phelps
there
from
you
Major
go.
League.
Okay.
If you want to know what tanking is, that is the definition of tanking.
I will say this though: if there is a team that could be accused of it, it might be the Phillies. I mean,
either that or the front office is just horrible.
Could be a little of both. I don't know. I have no explanation for that terrible franchise. Like none. I don't get it, man. I don't get it quite a bit, but it's going to be an interesting year, man. It really is, and I can't wait for it. I'm super, super, super excited about this year. It's just tingly. Do you have anything before we get to some of the big stories? You got anything else you want to hit on?
I heard yesterday that the Rockies are raising their fence at Coors Field by like 8 feet.
Yes, which they do this every now and then in Colorado, where they'll change the dimensions. They'll do that to try to make it not a fucking home run derby every game. What do you think of that?
I mean, the place is a launching pad, and you can't get any pitchers to sign there.
I say embrace it. I say either move the team or embrace it. I mean, I don't like this moving of the fences and shit. I don't like it. Move the team. You know what you have there. Move the team.
There you go.
That's just the way I look at it. Move the goddamn team, and that's it. Because it drives me nuts.
Fair enough.
Drives me nuts. So, anything else?
I think that'll. You got the Red Sox signing David Price. They finally got their frontline ace. Off the
We're
top
gonna
of my
break down divisions
head,
as the closer we get to the
yeah.
season. We're don't worry, we're not just skipping over your favorite teams. We're gonna get to each and every single division the closer we get to the season. This is just kind of our hey, hello, remember us?
Yeah.
type show. So
No, I think that's all I got off the top of my head.
all right, well let's get into a couple of the big stories of note that are pretty interesting to me. One, the Aroldis Chapman situation. This one is got ramifications that go beyond baseball. Because for those of you who don't know, the situation is this. Aroldis Chapman, amazing closer. He throws 175 miles an hour. He's insane. His girlfriend accuses him of hitting her. Choking her, actually. Choking her, and then he goes into the freaking garage, shoots a gun 8 times, all kinds of shit. Now, it's craziness. Nobody knows what's going on. He gets traded to the Yankees. Yankees, they're like, screw it. We'll go ahead. We'll take a risk. He's now been suspended 30 games. He said months ago, that if he was suspended, he would appeal it no matter what. He was not going to take the suspension. However, this 30 games has been collectively bargained by him, the Players Association, the Players Union, and and Major League Baseball. 30 games have been agreed upon. He's apologized for what he calls poor judgment. He says he's completely admitting to the gun use and all of that, but he stresses he did not hurt his girlfriend. But he's taking the 30 games anyway. He's going to take it. It avoids a PR nightmare. The question is, did baseball handle this correctly?
I don't know, because it's kind of this one's kind of a tricky situation. Unlike the Jose Reyes thing. I mean, we're still kind of waiting to hear what's going on with that one, but I'm sure we'll get to that one here in a minute. But this one is a tricky situation. I think the Players Union just got a very nice deal for Chapman. Only 30 games. He's only going to miss a month of the season. I thought it was going to be
too. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be. They were saying what, 50 games or something like that.
50. I'm hearing 40 was going to be minimum. If
yeah, 40 was
fight
40 was minimum.
Yeah.
So I mean, hey, you take the 30 games. I mean, that's in the you look at the season. I mean, that's not a huge chunk of time, and plus you still got Betances and Miller back there. So I mean, they'll be fine. They'll be fine there.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I don't know if he just thought, okay, got the 30 games. Yeah, I shot a gun like a crazy person. If he admitted to that,
yeah,
still hasn't admitted to choking his girlfriend. So I mean, we don't know.
There's no evidence on it. No charges have. Most importantly, no charges have been filed. He has not been arrested. No charges have been filed. I'm going to say something that I usually don't do when it comes to sports organizations and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Major League Baseball and the Players Union got this 100% right. I mean, they have set the bar now for how a union and ownership groups, the league, can handle.
You look at the NFL. You look at the NFL. You just laugh at.
Yes.
You laugh.
You laugh.
And while you're talking about this, I'll comment on the Reyes thing. They've handled that one perfectly too, I think, because his court date's not set till April 4th, I believe.
They're like, just sit. You just got to sit.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Just sit. You got to let this play out. They didn't let it get too far into the media. Just sit. You have to figure, because of how bad Goodell handled everything last year in the NFL.
Not just last year.
True, but last year was immeasurably bad. It was a bad 18 months for the NFL. That Rob Manfred, who is the new commissioner of baseball, and the Players Association. I mean, Major League Baseball is the best union in sports. Best union in sports. They work well with Major League Baseball. And what I love here is they said, collectively, whatever we do, we're not being the NFL. We are not being that. We cannot embarrass our league like that. That cannot happen. They went ahead and they collectively bargained and got 30 games. They got Aroldis Chapman to come out and apologized for his role. He took responsibility for the things that got him suspended. He's acknowledging, he's accepting it. There's no appeal process. This is not going to get stretched out through the season, so the Yankees are happy with it. It sets a nice little chunk of games that for situations that are like this, they can at least go to that case and go, okay, 30 games, no files charged, no charges filed and all that stuff, but you did something really stupid. 30 is a very manageable chunk of time. I don't think they overdid anything. I absolutely love what Major League Baseball did here. I love it. I love it.
Why can't Manfred be running for president? I mean, really? I mean, come on.
I like Manfred so much because he's just not old man fucking baseball that we had last time. Jesus Christ. Anything but Sealy.
He's keeping the tradition of the game, but he's also keeping his mind open to different things.
Yeah. And look, Sealy did a lot of good for baseball. A lot. Yeah. He was there a long time. But the last 5-10 years, he's just been a crotchety old man telling people to get off their fucking yard. Get off my yard, you young bucks. But now, Rob Manfred seems to be very progressive as far as, how to market the league even better. And he doesn't hammer anything stupidly either. Even with a potentially really ugly situation with like safety of fans. He didn't jump and go nuts and go, tent it all up. He's like, we're going to talk about the possibility of expanding the netting where the danger zones are. Really smart way of going about it. Didn't hold stupid press conferences and shit that Goodell would do. None of that. Really smart, simplistic things. They had another real big catastrophe of a situation that could have been problematic. The sliding situation.
Yeah.
Handled that beautifully. Change the rules, tweaks it so where it's a little bit ambiguous, but at the same time, it looks like it's going to be able to protect both the runner and the defender.
You're not going to get any Chase Utley situations.
It eliminates the fucking neighborhood play. That's essentially what this does. Thank fucking God. Touch the bag. Touch the bag. I hate the neighborhood play. Hate it.
Right.
I'm within 7 feet. I touched the bag. No, motherfucker, You're 7 feet away. It drives me nuts. Touch the bag. But here's one thing that they may have inadvertently done. By forcing that review of whether or not they touched the bag, I think they might be inadvertently causing more collisions. But we'll see what happens. It's going to be...
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
What do you think about the offseason of just for Major League Baseball as far as all those things that I just touched on?
I think it's been a pretty interesting offseason. Yeah. I think it has.
It's going to be quite great to see how some of these new rule changes. I like the subtlety. I like the fact that nothing seems to be life or death in football. Goodell, it's like they're still going after Brady for Deflategate.
I know.
Still happening. Do you realize, this is disgusting. By the time that this round of legal litigation and everything is done, do you know how much money they've spent on this trial?
Is it like $20 million?
It's like $20 million, man. It's like $20 million. That's embarrassingly bad. And
you know what that money could have went to? Helping build a stadium here to keep the Rams. Jerk off.
Yeah, $20 million would have bought you a couple rows of seats, though. It's like that's what $20 million would buy you in a stadium nowadays. Jerry Jones spent $20 million on the lighting of Jerry World. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Oh, God only knows that freaking huge TV costs.
And it's gonna look awesome seeing my replays at WrestleMania on that bitch, though. Let me tell you that.
Yeah. Hey, let's build a giant TV screen in the stadium so people can watch the game on TV while at the game.
Yeah. It makes perfect sense to me. I like it, actually. Like, I've been in enough nosebleeds. I've been in enough nosebleed seats to, like, appreciate. Look at the high def. That's clearer than the actual people. I like that. You're like, no, asshole. Watch the game. You're there live. No, you're not winning this. Don't watch the TV. Don't look at your phone. Watch the game.
Oh, if you're legit, if your head's buried in your phone, I kind of hope you get hit by something while you're at a game.
What happened? How could something hit me up here? I'm at the top row. That's because someone threw
Oh,
a shoe at you.
I got hit by a ball. Ball hit me in the head. Well, pay attention.
Pay attention.
Make it very clear before the games. Please pay attention at all times.
Right.
As,
Especially
as flying objects can be dangerous.
you can't go to, like, you can get away with it in other sports. It's not a big deal, but you can't do it in baseball. I was against lengthening the netting around the third base.
Oh no, I'm all for that.
I'm warming to it. Because it is dangerous. Even if you're paying attention, it's pretty dangerous.
Especially by right about the dugouts.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for that.
Sure. But at the same time, get off your goddamn phones. Get your mitt up. Yes, bring your mitt to the ballpark. I don't care if you're 4 or 40. Bring your mitt. I don't care how stupid you look. Bring your mitt. Be part of the game. Get a score. The only problem is, what about scorecards? If you're scoring the game, you're not paying attention. You're getting bludgeoned.
Well, that's why you do it in between pitches.
Yeah, usually. That would be a reasonable way of combating that. That's very true. Once again, Huffman tells you exactly how it is. And there it is.
There you go.
A fun little story, moving on just a little bit, with keeping the rhythm of off-season insanity. Cespedes, the arguable second-half MVP of the league. I mean, if he plays 3 weeks longer in New York last year, he probably wins the MVP. I mean, he played that well. As great as Bryce Harper was, don't get me wrong, he plays another month for the Mets like that, he's probably winning the MVP.
Or Royce Harper is Dusty Baker. The new manager,
that's right. Royce
Nationals
Harper
likes to call him.
That's right. My warning signs: if the manager mispronounces your name, you might be in trouble. I mean,
he's only the MVP of the league and one of the faces of the game. I mean,
yeah, he's only he's on the Mount Rushmore of the current game right now. But I don't know. You might want to look him up, Wikipedia him or something. I don't know. The game has passed Dusty Baker by, but that's another story for another day.
A little bit.
But Cespedes gets a nice contract from the Mets. I don't remember the exact numbers, but it's a really nice contract. Probably not as much as some people projected him to get, but a nice contract nonetheless. So how do you celebrate getting money? Well, obviously, it's showing up day after day to spring training when pitchers and catchers reports in $700,000 automobiles, weird contraptions, and then inevitably horseback.
Noah Syndergaard on horseback.
It's pretty good. That right there was worth it for me.
Yeah.
Seeing Noah Syndergaard on horseback is just fantastic. But he was bringing some beautiful cars. I mean, just absolutely beautiful vehicles to the game. But he was getting heavily criticized for it. Now, I don't know if he actually owns these cars. I don't think anybody reported on whether or not that.
I thought I heard he rented them.
Yeah, I think he ended up renting them. The most interesting thing that he did, though, was he brought a Megatime winning festival pig, a hog, a world grand champion hog that is now apparently, due to like Florida law, has to be slaughtered or some crazy shit like that. It's so funny. It's like, what the hell? The pig can't get a pass. We can't pardon the pig here. I don't know. All of this leads to the question: what do you think about this type of spending especially when you're a Cuban-born, Dominican-born, player that it took a lot to get you here? He got here at a little bit older of an age. What do you think of the situation? Is this the right message? And does it even matter if it is the wrong message? Should people just leave this fucking guy alone and let him do what he wants?
No, I mean, you can let the do what the guy wants. I mean, it's his money, but I mean, keep in mind, I mean, a lot of these guys have never seen that type of money before, especially when it's at their disposal.
Yeah.
I mean, they feel they're invincible right now.
Sure. And especially when we always known the Cespedes had amazing talent, especially on the defensive side of the ball, right? But now he really started to put together his entire game, and he looks like one of the, a top 10, top 15 player in baseball. He's really, really good. Is he going to be able to do that this year with the Mets? I don't know. I'm not banking on it. I'll tell you this. I probably won't be picking him up in the first couple of rounds of fantasy baseball, which, by the way, fantasy baseball year number 2 for Dead on Day Productions starts March 26th, the draft. March 26th, the draft. What did I say? 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to get in on the league this year that was won by some douchebag. He won both my fantasy leagues, man. Fucking,
Did he really?
Yeah, Stifler.
Yeah.
Jesus. Both of them.
I died for like a month or so. So
yeah, you did. But we have some slots left. We got like 4 slots, something like that. We're doing live draft. We're going to make a whole show out of it. If you want to be a part of it, send me your email on Twitter at DeadOnDaveV, or send it to Jeff. He'll get it to me as well. He's co-commissioner anyway. GrandSlam87 at GrandSlam87. And we'll get you in the league, and it's going to be a great year. I'm very excited about that. It's a cheap plug for the Fantasy Baseball League. Woohoo.
there we go. Beautiful.
I forgot what I was. Oh, yeah, Cespedes. It's interesting. What kind of year do you see for him? And do Terry Collins, the manager, he said enough of this shit.
Fun.
Yeah, no more fun. It's time to get down to baseball.
I'm Hitler. No more fun.
Right. He's going to be Hitler. And arguably, the 2 of the front runners in the NL are the Mets and Cubs. The 2 managers couldn't be more different. Joe Madden shows up in a 1976 Volkswagen van, all hippied out, and he has clowns in the fucking van. It's craziness what the Cubs have been doing. What do you make of all of this madness?
I think Collins. I mean, that's not the right thing to say. I don't think that's the right thing to say there. I mean, obviously, I've never been part of a big league spring training, but I mean, you hear it all the time. They do the same thing every single day, waking up at the crack of dawn, training, and then going to actually do on-field stuff. I mean, it's the same thing for like a month. Yeah. So I mean, throwing these, doing all the things like Madden's doing, just changing it up, keeping it fresh. I mean, it really lightens the mood. I mean, and you're excited to go to the field every single day.
Yeah. You have an exciting team with the Mets. There's some young talent to mix with the older talent. You have some big personalities led by, obviously, Cespedes here. I don't think it's a good idea to put the kibosh on this. Look, if you want to, sit him down with a good Jewish accountant, okay, that's one thing to do. Get his money in order, sure. But he's probably not putting himself in the poorhouse by doing the things that he's doing. It's pretty interesting to me that you're going to take a hyper personality like that and try to I think it could backfire. I think it's a mistake.
Trying to force him to be something he's not. I mean,
exactly.
So you can tone it down a little bit, but I mean,
sure, but
no
you
more
can't
fun.
wipe it out all the way.
No more fun. No more fun.
No more fun.
It's time for baseball. Baseball's a game. It's supposed to be fun.
It's a game. It's a goddamn game. Did we forget this? That it is a game? Holy God. It's crazy. It's a game. Get out of here. Get out of here with that. I don't want to hear that shit. It's pretty nuts. Couple of rapid fire questions I got for you. Do you think the Yankees are selling? Do you think Hal Steinbrenner's going to sell that team? There's reports once again that there could be a possibility of him signing. What do you think of that?
I don't know quite yet. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50 on that.
Would you want to see Hal Steinbrenner and his brother get rid of this team?
I think. When do Harper and Harvey go on the free agent market?
Next year, the year after, I believe.
I thought that was 2-3 years from now.
Harper's 2018. Okay.
I mean, I thought those two guys were going out there at the same time. So I mean, they're going to be.
They're both 2018. Yeah.
Yeah. Then and then that's basically when the Teixeiras, the Rodriguez, Sabatias, all those contracts expire, and that's why the Yankees have kind of cut back on their big time spending the last couple of years. They're just kind of waiting for these big contracts to run their course. And then I think once those guys become available, Harper, Harvey, they're really going to – I think they would go back to the Yankees of old.
Yeah.
We've been seeing.
I agree with that. I mean, I think potentially. I think Harper is going to be a Yankee. I do. I feel he's going to be a Yankee. They're going to get this guy. The question on whether or not Hal Steinbrenner should be running this team. I don't like Hal Steinbrenner. I love George Steinbrenner. I mean, yeah, he might have been the devil, but I love George Steinbrenner because he had at least passion for his team, you know? I like that. It might be time to move on from the Steinbrenners. It might be time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it best for the Yankees? I don't know. Does it really matter? Because the Yankees, it doesn't matter if you and I own it. The Yankees are still going to be the Yankees tomorrow, you know?
Right.
We'll see. I think a big sign will be when Cashman leaves. When Brian Cashman finally is gone, I think that'll be a big sign that they're going to be tearing a page, not just in the general manager department, but in the ownership group. Because at that point, who are you going to get? Who are you going to get to make your life easier? You know, I don't know. I'm not an expert. I'm just a fat fan who likes to talk. A little bit of breaking news here. A little bit of breaking. Kind of breaking. I don't know when this story was actually released. The Tigers,
breaking
man,
news, breaking.
What's that?
Breaking news that's breaking.
Breaking daily news, breaking daily. That's right. The Tigers are getting an early jump on the injury market that hurt them so much.
I saw that.
Year.
Saw that this morning.
Holy God. Maybe not the biggest name in the world for the Tigers, but it's just an ominous sign when you think about how much problems they had last year with injuries. Cameron Maybin missing 4 to 6 weeks, essentially the entire spring training, with a broken left wrist. A broken wrist for a hitter, usually not a good thing. I believe that's his trail hand, it's his follow through. That could haunt him the entire year.
Yeah.
But
no, they lost Rajay Davis, that big speedster.
Yep.
Center field. And you bring Maybin in. I thought, okay, that was a nice pickup there. You got a nice center fielder there, and well, not anymore.
Not anymore. It's pretty bad. They just have a lot of depth. They have a lot of issues. They don't really have anybody else, man. They got Mike Aviles, Andrew Romaine. I don't know these guys. Tyler Collins.
Google Mike Aviles' calves.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God, it's inhuman how big his calves are.
They're pretty big.
All 9 people that are watching this, Google Mike Aviles calves.
It's pretty big. They're like Mark Pryor big. Yeah, that's a throwback fucking reference. But if you remember Mark Pryor, he had calves on him that were just like Hulk Hogan's arms. They were insane. When Hulk Hogan was in good shape.
Right.
Are you worrying? Are you worrying if you're a Tigers fan, especially with Daniel Norris not being 100% ready yet? I mean, it's like, are you already starting to worry if you're a Tigers fan, especially in that division that seems to be like it's going to be a dogfight?
Well, I mean, you know what you got with the Royals, so I mean, you were already the underdogs to them a little bit, so I wouldn't be worried that like, oh my God, we're going to lose this now.
It's over.
You see what? Yeah, I mean, they picked up Jordan Zimmerman. I like that. I like that pickup there. Have him and Verlander. If Verlander can be, Verlander from like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
Ooh, he's still dating Kate Upton, and he's still winning at life.
He's still winning at life. Absolutely,
right.
He is. Zimmerman's great, but he is not a replacement for Price. I mean, he's
no Price or Scherzer. No. None of that.
No.
None of that. But they did make some moves in the bullpen. I do like those moves, but then again, relief pitchers are very, very random. I like the Upton pickup. You still look at their lineup. They got some nice pieces there with Kinsler, Miggy, J.D. Martinez, V-Mart. I could go. And they're getting Iglesias back.
Yeah.
They got him back. He went down real early.
This team goes as Miggy goes. If Miggy can stay healthy, I think they're going to be just fine.
If Miggy's at 60%, they'll be fine.
Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably very true. Probably very, very true. The pitching staff doesn't look bad. Verlander, Zimmerman, Anibal Sanchez, he always seems to do something interesting every year. Mike Pelfrey and Daniel Norris, not a terrible rotation, but it's the Cabreras, it's the Kinslers, it's the Justin Uptons, it's these guys. That's who's really going to make this a make or break year for them. We're going to see what's going to happen, but I think they have to be worried with all of the issues they had last year. injury-wise. They're like, oh, fuck, not again. Already? Really? Really? But it's gonna. We'll see what happens. It's going to be fairly interesting.
So, I mean, with the Maben thing, I mean, you got Anthony Ghost. I mean, he can fly, but
yeah.
Know,
So can what? Billy Hamilton can't get on base though.
Yeah, that's true. That is a big problem.
It's a little bit of an issue.
But once Billy Hamilton actually gets on at his 252 on base percentage clip, yeah, once he actually gets on, I mean, it's pretty much a guaranteed run.
Oh yeah,
with Joey Votto behind him, who never pops the ball up. If you just watch Joey Votto hit, he never pops the ball up, and he never pulls the ball foul. It's scary.
It's has some of the best approaches in baseball. His approach,
that actually hurts him. That actually hurts him because he has such a good eye.
Yeah.
That if it's off the plate, he's not swinging at it. If it's off the plate by a millimeter, he is not swinging at it.
Him and Rizzo.
I
don't think that either one of those guys. Nobody has better every at bats than those two. When you watch them, Rizzo and Votto, man, it's every pitch. It's like it's amazing to watch. But the funny thing is with Hamilton, he's the one guy who turns walks into triples. He's that good, but he can't get on base.
Speaking of walks, I don't know if you saw this quote from Joey Votto, and I'm not quoting this verbatim here, but he said, a lot of people have been asking me what I've been doing preparing for the off season. I'm just letting you know I have been preparing a lot for the off season. A lot of people worried about my performance. I just want you to know that I woke up every day and I practiced walking a lot. I went on many walks every day. So I will definitely be walking a lot this year.
Yes, he will be. But is Votto a Red by the end of this year?
I don't see how he hasn't been moved yet. I mean, they talk about his contract and about how nobody would want to pay it, but I mean,
I don't believe that.
The dude's one of the best. He's one of the best players in the game.
Yeah,
you got to figure somebody's going to take that on.
I think a problem with Votto isn't as much as its contract; it's his position, because any of the teams that are going to want him, and first base is plentiful in Major League Baseball right now. There are a lot of really, really good first basemen, and he's in that category, and does make it a little bit harder for him. So we'll see. I don't see how he could possibly continue to stay on this team because they're not going to be any good this year. The Reds are going to be bad. They're going to be really bad, like really bad. A couple minor news and notes here. Not too minor for you. I know you were happy about this. Colton Wong gets a 5-year contract from your Cardinals. Is he going to develop into the leadoff hitter of your dreams?
Oh, well, Matt Carpenter really does not want to give that up. And, if you look at it, Carpenter's stats from last year, how different they were, how night and day they were from the leadoff spot to any other spot in the lineup. So, I mean, I don't know, unless Carpenter can prove he can hit somewhere else in the lineup. I know I think yesterday or the day before they tried hitting him third. I don't remember exactly what he did, but no, that was an inter-squad game. That was an inter-squad game. They had him. Yeah. Yeah, but
spring training.
I don't know. Wong's he's gonna have to get the average up a little more to be the leadoff hitter. I mean, because that's obviously what a leadoff hitter is supposed to do: get on base. And if you look at Matt Carpenter and Colton Wong, Carpenter gets on base more than anybody.
Yeah,
and
really
since
does.
the 2013 season, nobody has scored more runs than him. So I mean,
there you go.
There you go. I mean,
enough said.
If Carpenter is going to keep getting on base at a 467 clip, I mean, yeah,
you're going to take it. It's going to be interesting. I like the signing. I think 5 years.
5 years, 25 mil. I'll gladly take that.
It's a pretty good deal for a guy who I think is not hit his peak yet. So,
not at all.
We're going to see what happens with that. Andrew Jones has been named Special Assistant of Baseball Operations to the Braves. There you go. because he was always known as a real clubhouse guy.
Right.
Yeah. David Murphy signs a
Is it Andrew or Andrew this year?
It's Andrew. Don't fuck it up. It's Andrew. I met that guy. Did I ever tell you that story?
No.
I met that guy. It was 2000 or 2001, Las Vegas. They had this home run derby. It was a little home run derby. Sammy Sosa was there.
I think you did tell me this, but keep going.
Yeah. I love this story. Sammy Sosa was there. Mike Piazza, Rafael Palmeiro, Andrew Jones, and he might have been Andrew at that point. I can't remember. Jose Canseco was there. I mean, it was crazy. And my buddy and I, we skipped school and we went to go shag fly balls.
Where's the doctor with the needle?
Yeah, we wanted to go shag fly balls. We couldn't get on the field, unfortunately. But so we watched the damn thing, and afterwards we decided to go to the parking lot and wait for everyone to come out and get autographs.
You did tell me this.
Yeah, and Andrew Jones did not win. He did not win. But I was like, he comes out, he signs a whole bunch of people's autographs, ignores me, walks away. I think Piazza won the damn thing. And Andrew Jones is walking away, and I go, and that's why you fucking didn't win the derby. And he turns around. He turns around and he looks at me, puts his head down, and just walks away. This old lady, she had to be in her 40s or something. So not old lady, but this lady, at my age, she was old, you know. And she looks at me, she goes, "What is the matter with you?" I go, "He's an asshole," you know. Just like that was my old thing. He's an asshole. But yeah, that's my Andrew Jones story.
There you go.
It's good stuff. We have a family-friendly show here.
You do.
We do. It's good stuff.
Not like the NFL Combine.
Yeah, right? Oh, God. Oh, so good. Dong.
Winning the internet.
Oh, so good. My favorite meme, my favorite thing that I saw was a picture of him running by the timekeeper with the stopwatch. And somebody circled the stopwatch guy and his look on his face and said, "The look when you're just innocently keeping time of 40s and suddenly a dick whizzes by your face." It's so good. You're not prepared for just a dick whizzing by your face. It's something you're just not ready for. You can never be ready for. You know how massive you have to be in the pants to be able to run yourself out of fucking compression shorts?
Yeah, exactly.
Good Lord.
That's the type of underwear I'm wearing right now.
Good Lord. You ain't moving. You don't have to worry about your dong saying hello to the world, probably, if I had to guess.
No, not at all. I don't have that issue.
No, probably not. Those are all the stories I got. Do you have anything for us here?
I didn't really talk about what the Cardinals did, so I'll get that out of the way real quick.
I was going to give you your moment here with the Cardinals, since I had my moment with the Cubs.
Lance Lynn gets Tommy John this year. So that kind of makes sense because he kind of took a dip in the second half last year. So that makes sense. So he's going to miss the upcoming season. Mm-hmm. So they bring in Mike Leake for 5 years. I really like that pickup. He's got a nice ERA, especially pitching at Great American Ballpark. It was in the mid-threes, and in that ballpark, I'll gladly take that. And then you bring in Brian Pena, who caught Mike Leake in Cincinnati. So I like that there. Also, Pena's an upgrade at the backup catcher position. Dumped Tony Cruz to Kansas City. They also traded John Jay to the San Diego Padres for infielder Jed Jerko, who's got a decent amount of pop for an infielder. You can play him at pretty much any infield position. Yeah, he can play
every position basically. Yeah, in the infield.
I really like that move there. He doesn't have a high average, but you get some pop off the bench. He'll hit about 250.
He's essentially your poor man's version of Zobrist.
Yeah, basically, pretty much. Let's see. Really, the only competition for this spring is who's going to play first base, whether it's Matt Adams or Brandon Moss. And then Moss, who was horrible last year, he was coming off hip surgery from the year before. Yeah. So we'll see how that plays out. And if they both suck, we can put Piscotty over at first base and throw Tommy Pham in the outfield. That's a very nice fourth outfielder to have. So the bench, I believe, has really improved with Pena, Jericho. You got Tommy Pham on the bench instead of Peter freaking Borges and John Jay. And then you got Adams or Moss on the bench. So I really like the bench that the Cardinals have. They brought in that Korean guy whose name I can't pronounce. It's Song Hwang Oh or something. His nickname, and you're gonna like this, is the final boss.
I do like that. I do like that.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So you got a Holiday coming back. Hopefully he can stay healthy. You got Grichuk out there in center field. And you got Piscotty out in right field. Hopefully Yachty can stay healthy. So, yeah.
Well, that's the watchword for your entire team. I mean, health. I'm not enamored with Mike Leake. I never have liked the guy. I get that for where he pitched, having a 3.88 lifetime ERA, that's great and everything. Still, I'm not a fan of this guy. I just don't like the son of a bitch. I can't even give you a good reason as to why. I just don't. Waka, he's an absolute stud, but he's had a little bit of durability problems, right?
A little bit with the shoulder.
But I mean, he's coming off of a really nice year. You got Garcia, you got Martinez. It's about health. It's about health with you guys. If that starting pitching staff could stay healthy, I think a Wainwright injury this year would be devastating. It would be. Yep. But I said the same thing last year. You know what? Everything I say about the Cardinals is absolutely irrelevant because I'm always wrong. I'm always wrong with the Cardinals, man.
Yeah, you thought when Wainwright went down last year, you're like, they're dead.
They're dead. They're dead. And they were
not dead. They go on to win 100 games, and then they died.
Yes, because
then they died.
They were put out of the playoffs by a certain team. I can't remember exactly who. It escapes me. Oh wait. I do remember.
And then they died.
Yes, we did. A very predictable death. A very predictable death.
To be fair, God took the form of Daniel Murphy.
Yeah, that was the right arm of God, and the left arm of God decided to be that rotation.
Right.
You know what's interesting, and I'll wrap it up after this one, but the reemergence of the fastball. Remember like 20 years ago, the talk was, the fastball is still an amazing pitch and all of that, but it was the breaking stuff that was getting real sexy and that was kind of changing the game and everything, where everyone was really just focused on the talk about the mythical gyro ball, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, and all these things, breaking. Now, the last 3, 4, 5 years, it's all about this fastball again. It's all about reestablishing command with the fastball and these fireballers that can throw it 103 miles an hour.
You don't even need to throw it 103. If you can locate it, you'll be fine.
Very true. But it just so happens the entire Mets pitching staff, they average like 99.
Yeah, it is hard to hit the ball when it's pretty tough to see. So.
Even 77-year-old Bartolo Colon, the only pitch he throws is a fastball.
He only throws that. He's all about location because for some reason he only throws in the upper 80s. Yet pretty much nobody can hit it.
No, but there's no break to his stuff. It's just just number one.
Maybe the issue is with Cologne, people not being able to hit him. He's so big that people lose the sight of the ball just blends in with his big uniform.
You have to imagine staring him down and seeing all these moving body parts jiggling at you as the ball is being released from his bulbous.
That's a factor. That's a factor. That is a factor.
It's got to be a little disconcerting, I have to imagine. But yeah, this is I'm glad to be back, man. Are you excited to be back for season 2 of Touch 'Em All?
I am pumped up.
Talking baseball, it's so good. The new graphic. How about the new graphic that Sal hooked us up with?
Beautiful.
Very pretty.
Beautiful.
We each have our own diamond. Isn't that nice?
Yeah. There we go.
I love it. I love this thing. So yeah, there's all.
I think he actually gave me a St. Louis background because I think I see the arch in the grass there.
However, I think you might be seeing what you want to see, but hey. No, you might be right. Oh, you might be
Yeah.
right, son of a bitch. God damn it, Sal. No, I think it's awesome. I love it. It's good to be back talking baseball. Get used to us because you're gonna be hearing us until October, so, November. November. You're gonna be hearing us to November
Maybe
now.
even November. Hopefully, you'll be going to the NLCS doing
Yeah.
live.
I'm glad that we were able to play each other in the playoffs and be
That was
civilized and
fun.
do shows together. It was so much fun doing those live shows with you, man.
That was
It was a
fun.
blast.
That was a lot of fun.
Things got destroyed. It was not good for me.
Yeah, but it was worth it. It was worth at least for the first round, anyway.
Yeah. Oh, for us, first 2 rounds, man, beating Pitt, taking out Pittsburgh and taking out.
No, I don't consider that a round, but
Well,
you know,
I mean, it is. I mean, it's a play-in. I don't know.
you make it 2 out of 3, I'll consider it a round.
Yes, I agree with that. 2 out of 3. Shorten the season to 160, and 2 out of 3 first round. Boom. That's all you got to do. My opinion, my humble opinion. But yeah, it's very exciting. I hope you guys are having a good time. Thank you guys for joining us here, man. The chat has been awesome. DJ Wright, I mean, 7 to 10 people watching this live at this time. That's awesome for me. I'm like
Breaking records already in season 2. There we go.
breaking records. Sleeping Angels in the chat. JS Lay's in the chat. All kinds of good people. We'll open the phone lines now. I forgot to do that. My bad. If there is anyone who wants to call in, now's the time. And I'll try to keep talking for another 2 minutes to see if anyone calls in on Skype. David Vancura, DavidVancura. And, of course, you can use the number 702-751-2902. Go ahead and call in if you have anything to talk about, ask, whatever. Remember, Fantasy Baseball League, Dead on Day Productions, year number 2. We're coming back, bitches. It's going to be a good one. Live draft is a very big special event, March 26th, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It was a success last year. It'll be just as much fun this year. Looking forward to that.
A lot of people ended up not playing, but
True, but still, it worked. I mean, God, if you're going to play, fucking stay on. Like, Jake Link is not getting a spot.
No.
No, not getting a spot. Not happening. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. I'm looking forward to this season. It's gonna be great. Make sure you guys are checking out everything in the community, not only here, but my man Too Tall over at XLT Live Podcast, Tommy C over at Shot from the Point, most badass hockey podcast in all known land. Huffman and I are there. Matt Kazar is there. Jake Link is there. Well, he won't be because Jake's having a baby. Yay! And of course, Frenchie Ben is there as well. So all kinds of good stuff going on within the community. And of course, Jeff Huffman. He does his thing over on YouTube, man, playing video games, man. What are you playing lately?
The last couple days or so, when I've actually been able to play, I've been playing some Battlefield. I'm on spring break after today, so hopefully I can knock out some streams then.
That means we're going to see shirtless streams. Shirtless streams. No more shirts.
Possibly. If we get enough people in there to watch it, we can work something out. Possibly.
There you go. But you know what? That's not fair because women can't do that, Jeff. You don't get to get views because of your body.
That's sexual harassment.
It is. There you go. So yeah. So all kinds of good stuff. Make sure you check out Jeff over at Grand Slam 87 on YouTube and on Twitter. Remember, Grand Slam 87 is not just a handle, it's a way of life. Figure that shit out. Other than that, man, I don't think I can gild this lily any more than I possibly did. Hope everyone had a good time in the chat. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. This was episode 1 of season 2 of Touch 'Em All. I'm Dead on Dave. That's Jeff the Huff Huffman. That's it. We'll see you next time right here on Dead on Dave Productions, which will be later tonight. I will be playing Layers of Fear in the return, the much anticipated return of Friday Night Scares. Will the fat man die on camera? Find out tonight. Time to be
not
determined.
Outlast.
What's that, Jeff?
I said no because it's not Outlast.
It's not Outlast, but Layers of Fear is supposed to be pretty intense as well. So we'll see. Gonna be fun. I'll see you guys there tonight. Thank you guys for joining us. Like, subscribe, and share. And as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. We'll see you next time. Peace. Go Cubs, go!